Hello everybody, Washu here, and welcome to a Washu update video. Alright, so we got some very, much more serious than normal topics to talk about this time. So, I mean, I'm just gonna, cut to the chase, because a lot of people, try to pull this out. But, I've gotten some weird news from my, network, which I guess will remain nameless. It's not really that hard to find out, but I guess that would be more professional than pointing fingers or talking about anything. For those of you that don't know, a network is someone who helps you monetize your channel. They'll help you select different ad stocks and provide other types of services to be able to get you hooked up with, I don't know, music and copyright stuff. But I've been with the same network since December of 2014, so it's been quite a while. But I'm not going to be able to monetize my stuff on YouTube anymore. Which I know that a lot of you are like, oh, that's not that big of a deal, just do it for free. Guys, I'm not doing it for money. Do you think that I care? Do you think that I'm playing stuff like Fair City and Wadanohara and the Great Blue Sea and Wolf and Rabbit because I'm going to be making the big YouTube dollars? It's like, I'm not doing it for money. But the problem is that if I can't monetize my YouTube content, YouTube isn't going to show it to other people, and eventually will probably stop showing it to you. You know how on your subscriber feed, sometimes it's like, oh hey, what happened to that one person? Let me click on or type in their channel deliberately into the search bar and pull them up. Wait, what the heck? They've been uploading like crazy and they haven't been getting hardly any views. What the heck happened? That's basically the YouTube algorithm trying to clean them out. So, that's not funny, that's very sad, but, this is what's really, I guess, very sad and confusing about this whole situation is, I don't have any information. I don't have any type of input, any type of news from YouTube, or from anything about, why and how this is occurring. So the feeling that I kind of have is just being told your channel has cancer and it's gonna die eventually, and there's nothing you can do about it. My channel's in completely good standing, right? I don't upload Studio Ghibli movies like some channels do. I don't excessively curse. I guess I do that sometimes to be able to get dinged with the demonetization, you know, occasionally, but probably not much more than the other people around, you know. Don't have any copyright strikes or any issues or whatever. And I mean, I can apply to any network right now because I have, and it's in reality, it's thanks to you guys. I'm not taking credit for the amount of effort that you guys go through to be able to participate in all my videos and the comment sections and the views and, you know, recommending it to your friends and whatnot. But there's just so many networks that I can apply to be able to you know, get stuff monetized again, but I'm super concerned about what is happening, and I have a couple theories about it. And I'm sorry if this is super off the cuff or whatever it's called. I didn't write a script about any of this. I never hardly ever write anything, so it's just gonna be kind of just me just saying it as it is. So I'm worried. I've been afraid for a long time about creators kind of like myself that don't play really, what's the word, trendy content? Hey, okay, let me start that over a little bit. Here's what I think is happening, and I don't know this for certain, but it's been just something that's kind of been sneaking up on me that I think was going to happen eventually. If we were to apply a metaphor to the situation, we got two of them. Or is it a simile? I don't know, it's been a long time since I've been at school. If we apply the metaphor like this, YouTube is kind of or the gaming's, whatever you want to call it, on YouTube, where you play a game and people watch them and interact with it, and advertisers can put down ads on their videos and whatnot. Imagine it kind of like an island out in the middle of the sea, alright? A lot of viewers don't ever really get this analogy or don't have to think about it like this because they don't make content, right? But imagine you're an island out in the middle of the sea, okay? It's an island it has a fixed size. The island can't really get that much bigger. I mean, we've reached capacity, so to speak, right? And now imagine that there's plants that have been growing on the island. Now, the first seeds that, you know, were carried across the sea and landed on that island by chance, they were the first ones there. They had all the sunlight and sunshine and room to grow that they could possibly need. And they were able to grow up really big, and they're these big, huge, wonderful trees that are just getting all the sunlight they could possibly need. In this analogy, the tree that's growing is a YouTuber, and the sunlight is like basically you guys, the viewership. And I guess, like I said, YouTube's kind of like the island. But, and then the deep, dark, dank sea around the YouTube, full of sharks and viruses and hackers. Over time, like, the island became super populated with trees as time started to go on. The people that were there first and were adapting to the situation and using their sunlight wisely, they're still doing just fine. But it is so unbelievably hard for new YouTubers to start. And there's no room. Yeah, there's no sunlight falling down onto the little tiny plants for them to be able to, you know, even grow up and be able to compete. You just have to look for these little tiny shades of light that come through, of being these little niche content kind of things. The problem with this situation is that YouTube is starting to get to the point where it is so unbelievably full, it can't even hardly hold it, like, it's overstuffed. There's too much to be able to handle. Alright, so this is where the second analogy came in. Now, I'm not very political, and I'm definitely not gonna waste my whatever getting into that now, but there were recent internet changes that have happened that really hit places like YouTube and Netflix very, very hard. It was basically a place where internet service providers could choose what kind of freight goes on their highway. Like, imagine YouTube is kind of like, I don't know, a packing company or something, and there can be a bunch of stuff in the truck, and they have to be careful with how much they take across the bridge because they're being charged by the pound. Comcast says, hey, you're using this much data, we're gonna charge you more money. That's called net neutrality. At least if I think I understand the situation completely, like I said. But, so now, combine the two things. Imagine that island situation with this highway situation. YouTube has to basically, like, optimize the, people that are on its site, and people such as myself who create very limited advertisement. I don't know, you probably, again, people probably didn't even really notice, and it's not really something, because it's like, I don't care about monetizing the videos. That's not what I'm here for. I just want to play and appreciate some anime games that some people have really taken a long time to create, and play it slowly, right? I don't want to take out all of the stuff in the middle where everything is put into context and you're actually playing the game and you're being more than just a series of reactions with no waiting time in between it. I guess it's kind of like the difference between a nice meal and like some distilled drug almost. God, it's just like some of the videos that I've tried to watch lately, it's just like, it's so intense. It's just like it absolutely pulls your attention just directly on there because something's always happening. There's never a break where like we can both reflect on what just happened. That's what's valued on there. Like let's add a third analogy to the situation. Like you, the viewer, imagine yourself like a little pinball, okay? And YouTube wants to shoot you and hit you into a bumper, and that bumper's kind of like a video. If it turns out that you stuck on that video for a long time, they hit you on there and you were there for like an hour and a half or an hour or less, right? And you only viewed one ad, like YouTube didn't get a good deal out of that situation. You were in a very, or that video wasn't very efficient. But if they could hit you across the channel and you go bang, 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 and you hit, what, 10 videos, all within, you know, an hour or something of viewing time, they were able to show you so many more ads and make so much more money off of that situation. Like, again, when they're being charged by the freight in this situation, and they're having to make hard and fast choices about what they're going to promote and how, I mean, that's a scary situation for channels like mine that basically make longer videos and don't put an ad every 5 minutes in the video with some huge unskippable ad at the very beginning. I've been worried about that because I knew that eventually YouTube was going to have to make changes like this. I just didn't think it was going to be, one, so fast, and two, so direct. And I could be speculating. I could be way, way off the mark right now. And maybe this is just nothing. Maybe YouTube has just, This is the problem though, is that mistakes like this don't, they happen, but they don't happen like that. Like, I took the time to actually, like, clarify with a representative, and it's like, nope, it's definitely not a mistake at all. YouTube itself is changing, coming up here pretty soon, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. And, because, you know, I've been making content on this site for a long time, and I've developed a relationship with a lot of people that, you know, expect content at a certain time, and I show up and get to enjoy it. It just makes me sad that there's such an, I guess, ideological difference between me and YouTube. Like, I just wanted to make videos that other people would enjoy that I also enjoyed making. But that doesn't seem to be part of the plan and hasn't been for a long time. There's always been this, like, shoehorning into a certain type of content where it needs to be this long, and you need to get a watch time up to this amount of minutes, and this amount of, percentage of the video watched or whatever, and you can achieve, like, higher CPMs, which is the amount of money you get per ad, and you can get better deals, and you get preferential treatment, and you'll get higher listing in the search bar. It's always been a tricky game to play, and playing the game is not fun because it means having to change and to be something that you don't want to be, or play games that you don't want to play, or make content in styles that you don't find satisfying. So I guess the short version of the story is, like, I don't know where to go from here, because I don't know if it's just a matter of just manually monetizing it and just giving it the lowest possible ad or whatever, so it's still monetized, so it still shows up in your boxes, and I'm at a total loss about what to do. So until I can find my footing, so to speak, about, like, what actually needs to be done to be able to do this, I'm, like, trying to find the what's the word, like, the silver lining of the situation, where it's just like, well, if this is the end of something, like, is it time to start something new? If YouTube is going this direction and I'm going this direction, and YouTube is basically, like, giving me the finger and saying, get over here or you're toast, we're not supporting you anymore, I mean, like, what am I supposed to do? I'm not gonna make videos if they're not gonna go to you guys or other people can't find them. That would be, like, that's divorcing from the main reason that I even am a content creator. So, I don't know. I've had that other channel for a long time, the Washu Draws one. It's actually really kind of a weird coincidence that this happened right on this exact weekend, because over the course of this weekend, you know, I've been doing lots of drawing. You know, I'm not quite to Yusuke Murata's level, but I've been doing a lot of thinking. You know, kind of like how my life's been going so far, about YouTube as a whole. I was reevaluating my goals with the, again, it was a total coincidence that this just happened so quickly over the weekend, like right after I had a few days of thinking of this very seriously. Like, I'm not pulling your leg here, but I'd mentioned this many times before. I mean, I've wanted to have or create games or manga or animations or something, but I just haven't ever. I've been so what's the word? Trapped in the practicing situation of it. It's like I'm not in a place where I'm ready to necessarily, like, just start popping out a bunch of games from all the ideas that I have in my head, or just start popping out mangas or animations, right? I'm still such unfathomably a beginner. I mean, I've come so far in the year or so that I've been practicing drawing since my first Washu Draws video, but I'm just not in a place where I can. That's not a transition that can be made over a weekend, to suddenly stop being a YouTube content creator and suddenly start being a game developer or a comic creator or whatever. So I don't know. that was somewhat less coherent than the last topic, but do know that there have been a lot of slow-growing projects in the works for a long time, and maybe we can use this as an opportunity for me to focus a lot more on them and actually see them be finished. I don't know, you guys, it's like, you don't need to know this, but like when I go to work, I go to work, I'm full-time job, right? Professional designer. I come home, I like rest for a little bit, eat dinner, and then basically I start another job and I stay up till like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning every day, practicing, drawing, and sketching, and learning different types of product design and architecture. I just got a couple new books, was just showing them to my friend. So it's been hard balancing the three. The current life that I'm currently living as a designer that I am not very happy with, the pseudo life where you're trying to direct your efforts to build something, because once you get out of high school and college and you enter the real world, it's very difficult to start over with something new, like drawing that you haven't been doing your whole life. And the years start going by very quickly. And the same stories that you know, thought about since high school, that you've been, holding in your head and in college and in your previous places that you've worked, that, just the stories that you had thought of that you said, hey, that'd be a cool idea for something. And then they are like little seeds that grow into these great big worlds of characters, that you very genuinely love and you want to see become real life. I don't know, there was more to say about that, but that would make this video hours long. So maybe we can talk about that one another time. Just know there are a lot of worlds that I would like to show with you, my YouTube subscribers, and people that would be interested in games. It's just a matter of finally being comfortable enough with drawing and game creation to be able to make them, to be able to accept, hey, just because it turned out this way doesn't mean that you can't come back when you learn more to, get even closer to that thing that you were trying to have it be. So I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. This is just try to look at the positive situation about what could happen. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to get in contact with a lot of different people to see what the heck. This whole bad, terrible situation that probably isn't that bad. It might actually be good, but maybe it's bad. Who knows? I don't know. So, thank you very much for listening. I'm really very sorry about Noel, the mortal fate, but I guess it's just gonna have to be paused. Paused for right now until I can figure out what the heck is happening with the world. So I hope to be able to return to it soon-ish. But until then, I might have a follow-up video, depending on if I learned something or if I need to correct anything here. Be sure to check out the comments. I'll try to participate down there. Don't freak out. It's not that big of a deal, right? Probably. And I'll see you next time.